Hey, so this story time is a pretty crazy story time that came from, in middle school times. And freaking, I used to have this friend that, inspired the story time, but he's not like, he's still alive and everything, if you guys are thinking freaking weird. But yeah, let's just jump right into this. So, here's what basically went down. So, I used to have this friend that, like, not to be, like, rude or anything, but he was, like, Mexican. But I'm Mexican too, which makes no sense, so, like, don't, be offended by anything. But he used to like he was a Mexican and he had these two parents, like the mom and the dad, and they looked pretty normal to me, right? Like I was just like, oh, the normal family, this kid with his parents, it's just normal. And I was friends with this kid, and let's just freaking call him freaking uh James or something. So James and I were like really good friends. Like we would do things together, play games together and everything. And I would always go to his house to play some games, but I didn't have any a PS3 or anything. And I just like literally just went to his house and just to play games. And like I'm just gonna say right now, his dad was a bit of a dickhead, like a freaking prick. Like he would just like treat me like shit for some reason. I don't know fucking know why, but I don't know if he treated everybody like shit. But he was a piece of shit to everybody or something. But yeah. So my friend's dad was just like that, and I would just like go to his house all the time. I'd be like, hey, and he would his my friend's dad would just keep an eye on me like a lot of time. Like he would just like eyeball me down or something, like if I was gonna hurt his son or some shit, and it was freaking dumb. So we're playing video games, right? And I would just be like, "Oh my God, can I be second player or let me be first player?" And then we'll just like be dumb arguments or something, like friend arguments or whatever from some dumb shit. And freaking like his dad, he's like, "Hey, Matthew." I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Did you just come to my son's house to play video games?" I'm like, "Yeah, we're playing video games right now." And I didn't think anything of it. I was just like, "Oh, he's just freaking telling us to play. We're playing video games." And he just freaking says this question. He's like, "Matthew, do you use my son to play video games and you're not actually his friend? You just want him his video games?" I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Like I didn't actually cuss or anything, but it was so fucking stupid. Like he's like, "Oh, I think you're using my son to, use him and get video games because you don't have a PS3 and he does, and you're just using him." I'm like, "It's nothing fucking like that. What the hell?" I would literally go to his house because he was like a really good friend of me, and he would treat me good and just like we would be good friends, and we would play video games, and that's pretty much it. Like I wasn't fucking using him for shit. I like back then I didn't even play video games that much. I would just play toys like a normal freaking kid would do. And I didn't have a console back then, so I would just go to his house because he had a console, and his freaking dad thought I was using him for his freaking console or some shit. And then he used to have a bike too, and I would use him on a ride it a lot. And his dad would be like, "Oh, yep, you're using him." I'm like, "Shut your fucking mouth, bro. You need to know what the fuck you're talking about." So freaking yeah. So his dad was really stupid. And I remember a lot of times, like a lot of freaking times, like I would just like be part of the family or something, like not freaking like really connected, but just like hang out with him. Like him and his freaking wife would always freaking argue, like even if like his friends are over, cause I would be over his house, and then they would argue in the fucking like their room or some shit, and I was like, what the hell is that? What the fuck? Your parents are arguing right now? And then my friend's like, hey, let's just go outside. Fuck this. And we went outside, and they would just argue and shit, and like all the fucking time, they would argue in front of me, like it was fucking normal. Like they would just be like, "Oh, okay, it's Matthew. Let's just argue in front of him, cause why the fuck not?" So yeah, so that was, and then there was one time that I went to his house. It wasn't actually a house, or it wasn't like the apartment he lived in, and he was in his apartment building or his apartment. And freaking, I knocked on the door, and like his dad comes out, the prick, right? The freaking prick of the family. His dad came out, and I was like, hey, is James here?" And then he's like, "No, Matthew, no, he's not here." And I would just hear his wife in the background just freaking yelling at him, shit, "Get the fuck out of the house or some shit. Get out. I don't freaking like you here anymore." I was like, "What the fuck is going on? I'm just trying to freaking hang out with my friend. What the fuck?" And then he's like, "No, Matthew, he's not at the house. Can you leave now?" And I'm like, "All right, sir. You don't have to be a freaking prick about it, like shit." And he would just freaking just do that shit. Like he did not like me at all. And then I remember this one time we went to like this swimming pool this one time, and he would like hang out with his son, right, James, and I'd be like, "Hey, let's play." And then he'd be like, Matthew, I'm trying to hang out with my son over here. Can you leave us alone?" I'm like, "You were the one who fucking brought me to this freaking trip with you guys to a swimming pool, and you want me to not hang out with fucking your son, which is my friend? What the fuck is that? And so it was like really freaking stupid. So I just decided to tell you guys a story of what happened in middle school. My stupid friend and his prick dad. So if you guys enjoyed the story time, please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos like this. And the next two story times are gonna be pretty crazy ones because I remember ones. So yeah, stay tuned. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys all later. Peace.